We're Karin and Jeremy, an average couple with average jobs and limited vacation time. When we take trips, we have 1 or 2 weeks, 3 if we're lucky, and we want to see and do as much as possible when we travel. Join us as we maximize our vacation time on Mapping It. We woke up early to catch the sunrise at Jokulsarlon Glacier Lagoon. It was tough to pull ourselves out of bed, but the views were incredible and completely worth it.
We've made it to Diamond Beach.
They call it that because this is where icebergs that came from the Glacier Lagoon wash up on shore, and they look like diamonds in the light. It's really cool.
We ended up spending longer at Yokozalan and Diamond Beach than we had intended. The beauty of the glacier and icebergs was hard to leave. When we finally pulled ourselves away, we headed to another glacier lagoon. The glaciers are melting faster and faster each year. Their beauty won't be around forever if we can't figure out a way to combat climate change. We wanted to appreciate the incredible beauty of the glaciers in case we can't see them in the future.
I found an iceberg. Woo!
We got back on the road and headed for Fjadrargljufur Canyon, with a stop along the way to enjoy the incredible ever-changing glacial rivers.
We made it to Fjadrargljufur Canyon. That was a long word to say.
The canyon is hugely popular with tourists, thanks in part to a Justin Bieber music video that was filmed here, so you might have to fight for a parking spot. There's a river that runs through the canyon, and you can hike the 1.5-mile long trail on the upper rim of the canyon for some great views. It seems like people used to be able to go out on the jagged fingers that stick out into the canyon, but that was causing significant erosion and damage to the land, so they built special viewing platforms to stand on. This is a really fun stop on the south coast of Iceland.
We just finished exploring Fjadrargljufur Canyon. It's really cool. It's about a 1-kilometer hike. It can be steep in some parts, but there's good traction. A lot of fingers to look out over. Also, it has bathrooms, so if you're in need of a bathroom break, you can come here.
Huh. We're at a lava field covered in moss.
A Justin Bieber video was filmed here.
We stopped for lunch at the soup company in Vik, where we warmed up and had some incredible soup before we moved on to our next stop.
We're at Reynisfjara beach in South Iceland, and behind us you can see basalt columns, and over my shoulder you can see the Reynisfjara. They are supposedly trolls that stayed out too late trying to catch a ship, and then they turned into stones.
Reynisfjara Beach is a beautiful black sand beach. There are hexagonal basalt columns in the side of the rock that are fun to climb. Around the corner you can explore some cool caves when it's low tide. Be careful here. This beach is dangerous. It's known for having sneaker waves that seemingly come out of nowhere and sweep people away. The sea is very strong here with a dangerous undertow, so never turn your back on the waves.
Hi from Dyrholaey.
Hi from Dyrholaey. Hopefully one of those was pronounced correctly.
Dyrholaey is a promontory that juts out into the sea. It's a great place for bird watching, and in the summer you can usually find puffins hanging out on the cliffs below.
Hi.
Hi.
We're at a nice viewpoint overlooking Reynisfjara beach, which is a black sand beach in South Iceland. We're at Skogafoss, one of Iceland's most popular waterfalls.
And we have the place to ourselves.
This particular waterfall was featured in the movie Walter Mitty, and it's been in a lot of other things as well.
There's a great hike to the top of Skogafoss, but we were short on daylight and the rain was really coming down, so we saved that for our next visit.
We made it to Seljalandsfoss, and that's how you pronounce it, not like Seljalandsfoss. We're the only ones here. Sun hasn't risen yet. Super early, last day in Iceland, but we gotta see this waterfall before we go. Check it out. We're right next to Seljalandsfoss. It's so powerful.
This is one of a few waterfalls in Iceland that are special because you can walk behind them.
Let's go explore.
Be sure to wear a raincoat, and if you have them, rain pants. You'll get soaked walking behind the falls. There's a great waterfall in a cave that's a short walk beyond Seljalandsfoss, but we were short on time and couldn't stick around. We had to get back on the road to make it to the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is Iceland's most popular attraction. There's a nearby geothermal plant that drilled for hot water in the 1970s. They found it, but the water was filled with too many minerals to be sent into houses. Instead, the geothermal water was used to heat fresh, cold water. The fresh water was sent to homes, and the geothermal water was simply discarded. Locals found it and started swimming in it. The silica clay makes it milky and is good for the skin. Authorities eventually fenced it off and started charging admission, and the rest is history.
We made it to the Blue Lagoon, one of our last stops on our trip. We're in the Blue Lagoon. This lagoon was formed from geothermal runoff from a local power plant. We've got silica mud masks on. We may look a little silly, but it's supposed to be really good for your skin. We're gonna go get some free drinks.
These masks are getting a little crusty.
A little crunchy. We found a part of the Blue Lagoon to keep all to ourselves.
We just finished at the Blue Lagoon. It's very relaxing.
Highly recommend.
Definitely worth it even though it's a little touristy.
We could have stayed at the lagoon until we had to leave for the airport, but we had one last stop to make before heading home, Reykjavik. When we visited on the first day of our trip, we weren't able to go to the top of the church because it was closed. We're glad we went out of our way to go back to Reykjavik because the views from the top of the church were fantastic and a great way to end our time in Iceland.
I found an iceberg. Woo! Stronger.
We're at Iceland's. We made it to Skogafoss waterfall. It's a big waterfall on the south coast.
Oh no! You made it worse.
We made it to Skogafoss waterfall.
Yeah.
We made it to Skogafoss. We made it to Skogafoss waterfall.